and she used the platform of the People's House to bash the Modi government and its record of what she called handling or the mishandling of the Samvidhan. She cited her own anecdotes from Sambhal and Unnao and Wayanad to bolster the case that the Congress has been making that the Samvidhan is a Suraksha Kavach or a protection band which is being robbed away by Mr. Modi's government. On the other side, leading the charge for the BJP was Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, who started off the constitution debate by saying that if anyone has attacked the constitution in this country, it is one family, it is one party, the Gandhi family and the Congress party. So the question is, after day one of the constitution debate, and tomorrow it's going to get even more high profile, Rahul Gandhi as leader of the opposition is going to speak, the Prime Minister is going to conclude the two-day constitution debate as the last speaker in the Lok Sabha. The question is the Samvidhan safe or is it under siege?
हमारा संविधान हर मामले में एक महान दस्तावेज है। संविधान की पवित्रता को किसी भी सूरत में अध्यक्ष महोदय भंग नहीं होने। अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं इस सदन में यह कहना चाहता हूं कि कांग्रेस के मित्रों ने अनेक मौके पर संविधान और संवैधानिक भावनाओं का निरादर किया है।
श्रीमती प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा।
दुख की बात यह है कि मेरे सत्ता पक्ष के साथी जो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं, इन्होंने इन 10 सालों में ये सुरक्षा कवच तोड़ने का पूरा प्रयास किया है।
ये अध्यक्ष महोदय कैसी चर्चा संविधान की जो है बिना प्रधान की।
इस देश की जनता ही इस संविधान को सुरक्षित रखती है। अडानी जी को सारे कोल्ड स्टोरेज आपकी सरकार ने दिए हैं।
All right, let's open this up to an all members of parliament panel today that's joining us on Brass Tacks tonight. Aparajita Sarangi is member of parliament and spokesperson of the BJP. Priyanka Chaturvedi, member of parliament from the Shiv Sena UBT. S. Jyotimani, Lok Sabha member of parliament from the Congress. Kanimuru Somu is Rajya Sabha member of parliament from the DMK. And Krishna Prasad Teneti is member of parliament from the TDP. Aparajita Sarangi, let me start with you. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in her maiden speech in parliament saying that the constitution is a Suraksha Kavach. The BJP is trying to break the shield that is offered by the Samvidhan to the poorest of poor in this country. She also went on to say it is Samvidhan, not Sangha Vidhan. How do you respond to that?
A very good evening. Priyanka Vadra ji had come for the first time to the Lok Sabha to speak. It was her maiden speech and I wish her the very best. She should do much better. But I can only say that whatever points that she has raised today were devoid of conviction. You know, when you speak from the heart and when you speak from a sense of understanding, the voice is different, the texture of voice is different and the tone is different. She was not at all convincing, unfortunately. I expected a lot from her speech, honestly, but I don't think we got what we wanted to. See, a couple of things she said which I don't agree with. Number one, she talked of she talked of Suraksha Kavach. Now let me tell you, this is our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who in October 2015 thought about the celebration of November 26 as the Samvidhan Divas. And since then, since October 2015, the day he declared, immediately thereafter there was Gazette notification, and November 26, every year we started celebrating as Samvidhan Divas. So I think we stand by the tenets of the Constitution, we uphold the dignity and decorum of the Constitution, and we go by all the provisions. This is one. And number two, let me tell you, when he was the CM of Gujarat, he had started in 2010 the Samvidhan Gaurav Yatra. So here is a person who has always upheld the dignity of the Samvidhan, and Priyanka Vadra should not actually forget that it was the Congress government which amended the constitution more than 80 times. More than 80 times. And as far as Suraksha Kavach expression is concerned, I think in the last 10 years, we have done everything to stand by the provisions of the constitution, and that is why this Samvidhan Gaurav Yatra and Samvidhan Divas celebration.
So let me ask Priyanka Chaturvedi this, the points that Aparajita Sarangi made. It's all fine to say Suraksha Kavach and the Kavach is being robbed away by Mr. Modi's government. It is the Congress party and Mrs. Gandhi who imposed emergency. It is under the Congress party's watch that 3,006 were killed in riots here in Delhi. Of the 100 plus amendments that have been made to the constitution, 84 of them have happened when the Congress was in power, either alone or in coalition. So the Congress party or representatives of the Congress party should be the last people speaking about Samvidhan. After all, it was Mr. Modi who in 2015 launched the Samvidhan Divas, and for the very first time we're marking the 26th of November, which is the day that India adopted the constitution, as Constitution Day. The Congress never did that in the 60 years it was in power.
Okay, so one day of celebration does not mean the rest of the year the principles of constitution are not followed. The basic principles of the constitution are being trampled upon every day, whether it is with regards to equality, with regards to inclusiveness, whether it's about right to freedom of speech and various other factors that the constitution gives a citizen the right to. Having said that, I think Zaka, you, me and all the other panelists on your show today have already read about what went wrong with the constitution, how Indira Gandhi ji imposed emergency, how the Sikh riots we saw. We've seen a lot of things in the past which was used by Mr. Narendra Modi, which was used by Atal Bihari Vajpayee to form a government. And they said they will do all the wrongs that were done by previous governments, they will correct it. And today using that as a crutch to say, oh look, they did it earlier, so we will continue repeating it, or we will make it worse. We will use these very loopholes in the constitution to deny people the democracy that we speak about, the federal structure that we speak about, and we continue to harm them. We continue to compromise the judiciary, we continue to compromise our investigative bodies, we continue to compromise the electoral bodies, we continue to do everything, every loophole, use every loophole in the constitution, or totally kill the idea of the constitution. And during our election campaign, we will also go on the streets and say, give us more than 400 seats, we want to change the constitution.
No, but
despite
that
all
narrative,
the repeated attacks on the...
Ma'am, if I may, that narrative fell flat in the recent Maharashtra State Assembly elections. 29 SC reserve seats in Maharashtra, 24 of them were won by the BJP, by the Mahayuti. So the point is, you had a narrative which worked in June, but it didn't work in your home state.
One second. This is such a ridiculous thing to say, oh look, the constitution is being trampled upon every single day. Two regional political parties are broken apart. Election Commission of India is already facing this in the Supreme Court and has a lot to answer for. The Chief Justice of India, who was part of the constitutional bench with regards to the Maharashtra case, has said this in no short terms, where they have not even minced their words, and said that whatever happened was unconstitutional. The governor's role came under question. You're justifying it by saying, oh look, you lost Maharashtra. Okay, no, please allow me to complete.
And you got 20 seats.
Zaka, allow me to complete. Allow me to complete. This is absolutely unfair of you to keep talking over me. If you are asking me a pointed question, I'll give you a pointed answer, but have the patience to listen to my answer. Now you're giving me, oh look, so many seats were SC/ST seats, and look, Mahayuti has won it. Let me also tell you, look on the other side of the spectrum. 46 lakh voters have been added. We still don't know what how these numbers were added and why were so many voters deleted from the list. Something that we had raised a question to before the election dates were announced. The second part of the question is, between 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., 76 lakh voters were added as a voter turnout, which even the former Chief Election Commissioner has spoken about. So when an electoral democracy itself is under question, we are going to ask these questions, we are going to raise our voices.
Etc. Let me come back to the debate at hand, which is the constitution debate. Let me go to S. Jyotimani of the Congress party. The Raksha Mantri, the defense minister, starting the debate in the Lok Sabha today, said if there's been any one family or one party that has hijacked or tried to attack the Samvidhan, it is the Congress party and the Gandhi family. One party tried to appropriate the Samvidhan, it is the Congress party that has disrespected the Samvidhan. He cited examples of the 39th Amendment, which overturned the historic 1975 judgment of the Allahabad High Court, which barred Mrs. Gandhi from contesting the elections. He cited the 42nd Amendment, which put executive decisions above judicial review. All of these were done not when the BJP was in power, it was done when the Congress was in power. Emergency was imposed when the Congress was in power. All of these have been cited by the BJP and by the Defence Minister. Now the Congress is crying, Constitution is under threat. Ms. Jyotimani.
See, Zaka, I really feel sad that someone like stature of Rajnath Singh ji can come with such an accusation. If you allow me to say, I have a paper in my hand. Congress governments from Nehru to Narasimha Rao ji almost brought like around 100 amendments. But your Rajnath Singh ji can mention only 2 amendments. Why he couldn't say about other amendments? Other amendments are historic amendments which ensured and empower the federal rights, women empowerment, SC, ST, minorities empowerment, and it's improve the federal structure. And
no, but ma'am, tell me in the last 10 years, if you are saying that the Constitution is under threat,
1 second.
what unconstitutional amendment did the Modi government bring?
See, what is, how the union state of Jammu and Kashmir become a union territory? Tell me. Even they bothered to brought a constitutional amendment, whether they bother to discuss this in the floor of the parliament. Then you are simply asking
that matter went all the way up to the Supreme Court. 5-judge constitutional bench of the Supreme Court said there was nothing wrong with that decision.
Supreme Court is different from the parliament. Then why are you asking about the
constitutional amendment,
party?
whether it is valid or not valid, was ultimately judged by the Supreme Court, ma'am.
Never weakened the nation.
Ma'am, you said
For example,
constitutional amendment was brought in.
74th amendment which Congress party has brought.
Emergency.
Zaga, either you call me to allow me to speak or you want to speak for
I am
yourself. First
listening
you
to
decide, then we'll
you.
talk.
You made a point about the Jammu and Kashmir legislature being dissolved and it being converted into a union territory. Fair point. The matter went all the way up to the Supreme Court, to a constitutional bench of the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court did not find that unconstitutional.
It's not about the court. Court is see. Hope you understand democracy as a 4 pillar. Parliament is, which is a very, very important pillar. So everything has to go to Supreme Court. Then you don't need a parliament. You dissolve it. You already, it's parliament is completely undermined. Already our opposition, whether leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi or any one of the opposition members cannot speak. Even we spoke about the bitter truth. It's been deleted from the records. So now already parliament been undermined. Now you are suggesting there is no need to come to parliament. There is no discussion.
No, I did not say that.
Amendment.
I said ultimately
That's what BJP is precisely
whether
doing.
laws passed in parliament, amendments made to the constitution are valid or not valid, will have to be tested in a court of law.
The Congress, for example, listen, where Rajnath Singh ji is saying, we brought a constitutional amendment. That constitutional amendment is not agreed to him. We are saying you don't even bother to brought a constitutional amendment. You completely undermine the parliament. You completely undermine the constitution. You went out of the way to reduce the stature of the state assembly of the Jammu and Kashmir to union territory. Now you are defending that. You are saying so you supposed to be a neutral.
No, I am not defending anybody. No, it's not my job to defend you or to not defend any political party.
Supreme Court, we can make
matter is simple. You made a specific example about what you called an illegal legislation brought forth to parliament to undermine the elected legislature of Jammu and Kashmir. I simply made the point that it went to the court and the court did not find anything illegal. But let me go to Kanimuri Somu of the DMK. Ma'am, the point is that as the Defence Minister cited today in Parliament, more than 84 out of the 100 plus amendments to the Constitution happened when the Congress was in power. This whole Samvidhan khatre mein hai or the Constitution is in danger. If Modi has 400 seats, he will take away reservation. Well, it may have worked in June to some extent, but it certainly did not work in October or in November. I cited the example of Maharashtra, 29 reserved seats, 24 of them were won by the ruling party alliance. Similarly in Haryana, 20 Dalit seats, 15 of them were won by the BJP. So this whole narrative that reservation is going to go away or that Modi is going to take away reservations has been roundly defeated, both in Haryana and then in Maharashtra.
Okay, now you're talking about two state elections, Zaka, and this is the time when they're talking about the 75th celebration of the constitution, and this is the same time the cabinet is also given approval for one nation and one country and one election. Now where does it good hold? You are not able to conduct elections for 4 states together, and last 2024 we have had elections conducting over more than 55 days. Same previous elections, it was just taken place in around just 18 to 15 days. When you are not able to conduct elections exclusively when Jammu Kashmir is parallelly having an election, where does your one nation and one country and one election comes? I seriously don't understand. When we are celebrating the 75th Constitution Day and we are having discussions on that, where does the concurrence, the Union Cabinet giving approval for the one nation comes up? We seriously don't understand. You guys speak so much about the social justice. There are 2 words. The speech of the president has been prepared by the government. There are 2 words which is continuously missing. Is the 2 words are socialism and secularism, which is very, very baseline of a constitution. Those 2 words in the 1 hour speech which the president gave is not to be found anywhere at all. 1. Number 2. Draupadi Murmu, President of India, was not even called to inaugurate the new Parliament House. So where does the social justice stands towards BJP? It is totally a RSS
but
mentality.
BJP's
Today in
contention
Rajya
is
Sabha,
first ever
today in Rajya Sabha,
leader became president under the BJP's tenure, not under
yeah,
Congress.
We do appreciate that. Definitely we do appreciate that, but that is all only for an advertisement sake. It's only for their advertisement. If you had brought the first tribal woman as President of India, yes, well appreciated. Why didn't you call her to inaugurate the Sengol, which you seem to say the democracy of temple democracy, that is supposed to be very pious? Why? Why isn't she there? Why wasn't she there? How can you even not call the President of India to the highest temple of democracy
Sarangi comes from
country?
the same state
Then
as the President, so please respond to that. So that is your example of constitution being under danger and that social justice being under danger. Aparajita Sarangi, please respond to that.
Not and then I'll go to that. You're continuously for the last 10 years.
See, we have to understand.
Last 10 years, what all BJP has done.
Okay, let Aparajita Sarangi respond, and then Jyotsna of the TDP is also joining us. Yeah.
See, we have to understand the situation that these opposition party people are in at this moment. After the drubbing in Maharashtra and Haryana elections, they do not have anything to say. They are trying to create a kind of environment in the country that this particular government headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is tampering with the constitution. Now this rumour mongering by the opposition is not going to cut ice with the people of the country, more so after the elections and more so after the blessings of the people that we have received in all these elections. Now such kind of opposition will definitely strengthen our resolve to uphold the spirit of the constitution. Now let me tell you about whatever they have been saying. See, we go for progressive steps. We have gone for the abrogation of Article 317, Article 35A, we have gone for triple talaq, we have gone for Citizenship Amendment Act, and now a very progressive thing, one nation, one election has come. Of course, it will go, we will go for a lot of debates on this. We need not talk about it. We did not get into the debate on one nation, one election at this juncture. But I can only say that the Prime Minister Modi's government is into working, and we walk the talk.
Okay, so let me go across to Jyotsna Tirunagari of the TDP as well.
We abide by the provisions of the constitution.
The contention by the opposition, and you heard Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's speech today, she says that whether it is bereaved families in Sambhal or in Unnao or in Hathras or in Wayanad, her own constituency where there was a natural calamity some months ago for which relief funds have not been issued to the full extent by the centre, or whether it is, of course, in Manipur for the last year and a half, the state has been burning. She says the Suraksha Kavach, the security cover offered by the Samvidhan is being taken away from ordinary people in all of these places, and the Prime Minister does not even bother to go to those places. Please respond to that. That's the charge from the Congress and from the opposition.
See, and it's very surprising to hear a charge from the Congress, a party which actually, I think, I would say, dishonored constitution to the core. They were the people who have imposed emergency rule. They were the people during their regime. I think if you remember, we had highest number of president rules in the states. Constitution ka dhajia udane wale bolte hain. But again, Jacob, I'll come back to the point. Yes, the point that was raised by Priyanka Vadra ji today, I appreciate her point. Yes, Wayanad ke bare mein wo jo baat kare, or actually yes, the point is during that particular calamity that has happened in Wayanad, where was Rahul Gandhi ji, the then MP of Wayanad? Where was he? And you are talking about the government now?
There. What is this?
No. I'm sorry, ma'am. Let me speak, because he was in a discussion.
One second, ma'am. Let her finish. Then I'll come to you. Let her finish.
Jyotimani, ma'am. 1 minute. I'll tell you why.
Lie.
No, it's not a lie. After 2 days,
Rahul Gandhi ji very much there. He was there, stationed there.
Jyotimani, ma'am, you have to allow me to speak.
Lies cannot be allowed.
You can counter her lies if you wish to. But when I'll come to you, please. If both of you speak at the same time, our viewers will not be able to understand either of you. Let her finish. Then I'll come to you.
The point is, when that episode was happening and that the people of Wayanad were suffering, initial 2 days, where was Rahul Gandhi ji? We didn't see him. After that, he went. Again, the point is, I'm coming back to this point. Now they talk about Sambhal, they talk about Manipur violence, they talk about Hathras, they talk about all the other places. And why aren't they talking about Telangana? Why aren't they talking about the places that they are in, in the ruling states that are ruled by Congress or their allies or whatnot? Why aren't they talking about Telangana?
Today, an actor got arrested in Telangana for seemingly no fault of his. The High Court gave him interim bail, saying that he too has a right to life. But anyway, we're coming to that debate in the second part of the show.
One second, Jacob, let me complete. Same Rahul Gandhi ji wears a t-shirt of Modi and Adani in the outside the parliament. They don't have a problem with it. But Telangana government led by Congress there, they have a problem with the BRS MLAs having a t-shirt and getting the same.
Okay, so let me ask Jyotimani, please respond on the Wayanad point, and more importantly, the citation of President's rule. 134 times since India got independence, President's rule has been imposed. 40 times alone when Mrs. Gandhi was Prime Minister.
Absolutely.
Jyotimani.
See, Zaka, Rahul Gandhi was very much there in the Wayanad. That is why not only during the calamity, throughout his membership, Rahul ji was stood by the people of Wayanad. He is seen as a son of the soil. That is why Priyanka ji got more vote than anybody else in the Wayanad parliamentary constituency. Let's not agree to spread these lies further. See, there are certain situations which warranted dissolving the governments. But despite, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, please go ahead.
No, it's something good.
Okay, so let me ask Priyanka Chaturvedi that. What is the justification that out of 134 times that President's rule has been imposed, 40 times was under one Prime Minister? That you would imagine is the most unconstitutional thing a government can do.
No, one second. Why should I be sitting here and justifying what happened in the past rather than being an elected member of parliament, being a member of parliament right now and deciding about our children's future and will they have a constitutional framework and constitutional safeguards or no? Why should I be talking about the past?
So how many times has Modi imposed President's
happened
rule?
In the past, they have 1 second, please allow me to speak. I don't know why you start interrupting before I complete.
Okay, go on.
I think this is not right, Zaka. You are not interrupting the other two MPs, whether TDP or BJP.
Go on. I did interrupt
them too,
all I
would say is, they have used this to reap their political benefit out of it, and Bharatiya Janata Party is in power now. Bharatiya Janata Party is a party when Mr. Narendra Modi entered the steps of the parliament for the first time, the first place that he put his head to was the constitution, that he would follow the constitution. I'm talking, every time I talk about the country's constitutional issues, you will bring it to, oh look, you've lost your state, Maharashtra. If I talk about the state, then you will talk about, oh look, let's talk about the constituency of Wayanad. I think this is such a ridiculous debate to happen. What does the constitution tell us? What does the constitution safeguard us against? Any kind of inequality? Any kind of injustice? Any kind of a feeling that that there is a life of fear? A free and fair media? A free and fair judiciary? A free and fair institutions? Free and fair elections? And if all those arms which I've just spoken about are under attack then I think you should stop worrying about Wayanad and Maharashtra. You should be looking at a larger picture. That every citizen of this country who has been denied these rights,
Election Commission is compromised, judiciary is compromised,
citizen of
media
this
is
country being denied that right, that means my constitution comes under threat, and I seek accountability from my government.
IT is all being misused. Just answer one question, ma'am. How many times has Modi imposed president's rule in the 10 years that he's been Prime Minister?
I think this is such a funny thing to ask. Just because I told you the constitutional safeguards that are in danger, you point out Maharashtra or Haryana to me. Or you point out some 28 assembly seats where Mahayuti has won. Again, what you're doing right now is, oh look, Indira Gandhi ji did this in 1980s or 1970s, so you will now explain to me now. I'm asking you one very simple question. And let me also clarify one thing. What Jyoti Mani was saying was about a statehood turning into a union territory. Supreme Court upheld the Article 370 removal. It in fact told the government of India that they should ensure that it gets its statehood back. So that was an incorrect charge also that you were making at Jyoti Mani.
Jyoti Mani
now, having said that,
is
I'm
back
not
on
going
the
to compare.
No,
oh look, president rule not then, president rule now. Please allow me to complete since you've asked me that question. Again, just allow me to complete because you've asked me this question. Indira Gandhi ji's era, we have seen the consequences. Those have been used politically. They have managed to make BJP in some way feel that they do a better job of it. And you're asking me, oh look, have they imposed president's rule and we should be grateful? But let me tell you one thing. In the Maharashtra verdict, it was the governor and how the governors are being used by the central government was pulled up by the Supreme Court. And how governor has become a political tool of the central government is something which has been repeated in various states and has been noted by the Supreme Court of India. So don't give me this charge of, oh look, president's rule has not been imposed, so constitution is not in danger.
The question that I asked was, once in Uttarakhand it was overturned by the Supreme Court of India, after which there's been no instance of imposition of president's rule. Yes, the opposition is well within its right to claim. Well within its right to claim. Now ma'am, now you're interrupting me.
Oh look, Indira
Now you're
Gandhi
interrupting
did
me,
this
ma'am,
and
please.
Narendra Modi is doing.
I asked you a simple question. In the last 10 years, how many times has he imposed president's rule? The answer is one in Uttarakhand, which was overturned by the Supreme Court of India in 2016, after which there's been no instances of imposition of president's rule. Yes, you are well within your right to say that Tod, Ford, Marod ki rajniti ho rahi hai in Maharashtra and other places, Goa, etc. But that is your political point to make. I have no quibble with that. But I'll give the. I have to wrap up. I have to wrap up.
Again,
ma'am, come on, please. I gave you uninterrupted time. You're eating into a fellow panelist's time. Don't do this. Don't do this.
The Supreme Court of India.
Please don't do this. I request you.
Given its verdict. So please don't.
Jyoti Mani, final word. Point is that the BJP says, whether it is emergency, whether it is president's rule, whether it is 39th Amendment, 42nd Amendment, all of these things, unconstitutional moves have been done when the Congress was in power. You should be the last people to speak about Samvidhan khatre mein hai, which anyway electorally has been demolished in Haryana and in Maharashtra, which Priyanka Chaturvedi is loath to admit. Anyway,
I think you are pretty much, Zaga, you are pretty much impressed with Haryana and Maharashtra election more than BJP. So you please talk about Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka, Telangana. There are so many other states. No, that states also in India. You can have a look at it also. You are liking so much that states which BJP won the election.
No, because Samvidhan khatre mein hai is a last 6 month narrative. No, not before that. Anyway, go on.
Priyanka ji rightly said it today. Yeah. Let me
Can I just say something?
Priyanka ji rightly put it today. These people do not have a mandate to destroy the constitution. That is why they are now projecting themselves as a defender of constitution. They will wait for any moment because they want to impose Manushrumati on this country. That is why Priyanka ji rightly said this is not Samvidhan, this is not Sankavidhan.
Okay. Harte jeet gaye is what she said. Aparajita Sarangi, final word. I have to wrap up within 30 seconds, please. I need to go to the second debate.
Those who live in glass houses cannot afford to throw stones at others. Congress and these political parties have absolutely no right to talk about tampering with the constitution. I mean, as you rightly said, how many times they have invoked Article 356? That's something which I think these people must be aware of. 134 times, as you said. And there has been absolutely no situation of emergency in the last 10-11 years of Prime Minister Modi's government. We respect the states, we respect collective effort. We talk to everybody, there is deliberation in the house and outside the house, and that is why these 2 days constitutional debate going on.
Okay.
So I think there is a lot to be happy about, lot to cheer about, and it is basically, to every action of Prime Minister Modi, there is always an equal and opposite negative reaction.
Talking
by
about
these people
constitution, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to all the honourable members of parliament for joining us. Of course, this debate will continue on day 2 of the constitution debate tomorrow in parliament. The Prime Minister is expected to conclude that. As the last speaker, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition, is also expected to speak on the constitution debate tomorrow. But talking about constitution and constitutional acts, today something quite bizarre and extraordinary happened in Hyderabad. Actor Allu Arjun, superstar I must say, Allu Arjun of Pushpa fame, he was arrested from his residence earlier today for a stampede that happened on the 2nd of December, which killed one person, a 35-year-old woman in Hyderabad. This happened at the Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad. Allu Arjun has now been granted interim bail. 5 hours after the arrest, the Telangana High Court heard the matter. It said he too has the right to life like any other citizen of this country. Our local court in Nampalli had first sent him to 14-day judicial custody. He's now in the Hyderabad Central Jail, where orders are currently being processed to release him under interim bail. Despite the police invoking non-bailable sections against Allu Arjun, the Telangana High Court upheld his right to life, just like that of any other citizen of the country. The question is Allu Arjun, as an actor, as a superstar, being unfairly targeted? He did not own the theatre premises where this unfortunate stampede happened. He was not the cause of this stampede. He was not the person who was in charge of the security of the theatre, or the one who should have provided security to ensure that a stampede-like situation did not arise. So then why was he arrested, and that too under non-bailable sections? Many in the film industry believe that Allu Arjun is being targeted because of his fame, because of his superstar status. In fact, after Allu Arjun was arrested today, the victim's husband, the lady who died, her husband, who filed the FIR, said that it was not the actor who was responsible at all in any way for the death of his wife, and that he was even ready to withdraw the case. So then why did the state government, the state police go ahead with the arrest in such a brazen and high-handed manner? Is it justified?
Condolences to the entire family. To the Revati family, condolences from me and the entire team of Pushpa.
Is he arrested? Yes, he was arrested.
I think जो आप ब्लेम है सिर्फ एक इंसान पे नहीं डाल सकते.
Today you directly barge into his residence, into his bedroom and arrest him, and directly you are taking him to the medical authorities, which means this is a well executed plan to send him to jail.
पुलिस फोर्स व्यवस्था के लिए नहीं आती है तो किसकी गलती है? मैं आज मुख्यमंत्री रेवंत रेड्डी से पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या हीरो की गलती है?
पता कर लेके बोलता हूँ.
All right, let's quickly open this up to our panelists. Kasturi Shankar, actor, is joining us. We'll be joined in a moment by Krishang Mane of the BRS, and Navika Harshe, spokesperson of the Congress, is joining us. Let me ask the Congress spokesperson, ma'am, what is Allu Arjun's fault? He was not responsible for the security at the theatre. His job was not to ensure crowd control. He even apologized to the family of the victim. The victim's husband, who filed the complaint, said that his intention was not to arrest the actor at all, and that he's willing to withdraw his complaint. Is this not a case of high-handed behavior by the Telangana police? Please respond.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely not. I mean, this is the law, and the law is taking its own course. And why would we have a vendetta against Allu Arjun? Allu Arjun is a brand ambassador for our no drugs policy. So he's our person. What has happened is what the law does. And there was the theatre, Sandhya Theatre, had asked for permission. The permission had not been granted. Now, people would say that why didn't Allu Arjun make sure that the permission was taken before he came? And he Nobody has checked that, and he did arrive at it, and there was this unfortunate incident. But this is the law taking its own course.
No, but ma'am, how is the law taking its own course, arresting the person who arrived there who had nothing to do with that theatre? Please, by all means, go ahead, arrest the owners of the theatre, the proprietors of the theatre. But why? Yes, I know. But what has the star got to do with it? Unless the star owns the theatre, which in this case he clearly doesn't.
Also a star, he should have also checked to make sure that the permissions were in place, right? Everybody knows what a big movie star he is. Pushpa 1 was a big hit.
Ma'am,
Pushpa
that's
2
like
was
saying if somebody is driving on the road and a person crosses, it is the job of the person who crosses to ensure that the person who's driving does not speed.
No, I think you have got the metaphor wrong. What we are saying is the person who's driving needs to check that the signal is on and there's no one crossing the road.
No, so how is it the fault of the person who's crossing the road? In this case, Allu Arjun happens to be incidental to this story.
No, Allu Arjun is the person who's driving the car. He should have been a little more careful about making sure. And see, we are not taking any sides as the government. We are just saying we have faith in the judiciary. He's also been
the police register the FIR. The police make him a party to this case. The police arrive at his residence. They pick him up from outside his bedroom. There is the audio. You can listen to the audio. I don't speak Telugu, but my friends tell me that he is asking the police person who has arrived there, the police officer who's arrived there, please, why are you standing outside my bedroom? Please allow me to change. And he says, no. Really? This is the law taking its own course.
Yes, but why would we have a vendetta against our own brand ambassador? Or, this doesn't make any sense.
You tell me. So why has your police gone after him?
For this has happened. He should have checked whether this was happening or not. There was a case filed, and it is up to the actor and the celebrity to make sure that all the permissions are sought before you do an event.
This is completely, Kasturi Shankar, please respond. It makes no sense. By that logic, every time an actor goes outside, steps outside his house, he has to ensure there is no traffic. He has to ensure that there is no crowds. That's not his responsibility.
There was an event happening.
Let me ask Kasturi Shankar. Let me ask Kasturi Shankar.
Zaka, for me, obviously, this is a lot of nightmares coming back because that I was arrested from Hyderabad on a Saturday evening, throwing all rule of law, all the laws that Madam spoke about. Everything was thrown to the winds, and I was arrested here without a transit warrant just 3 weeks ago, exactly last month. Not a month has passed. So I can actually tell you about the law, Madam. You cannot go, generally, let's put it this way. Generally, the procedure, there is a process, there is a protocol. Usually there is a 41A summons given to somebody who has been named in an FIR. There is a chance given for them to appear in a police station to explain their side of the matter. So this is step number 1, not given. Was there a warrant for his arrest? On what basis that was created? I do not know. But I'll say this. I believe, and I read this again in the news today after this entire thing blew up. I read that the police had first approached for his arrest on the 8th. Note that is a Sunday. On the 8th, they had approached him, which is why on the 11th he had moved court to quash the FIRs against him. And it seems like when he approaches the court to quash his FIR, that's when the police have decided to take swifter action in order to not let
the sections that have been applied against him. BNS section 105, culpable homicide not amounting to murder, which is a charge of at least 5 years of jail, maximum life sentence, and it is a non-bailable offence. BNS 118(1), voluntarily causing hurt. I don't know how he voluntarily caused hurt. A crowd turned up. The stampede happened. Unfortunately, the woman died, but the actor voluntarily caused hurt. Life term or jail of 1 to 10 years along with a fine. It is again a non-bailable offence. It makes no sense, Navika.
Here's the thing.
A lady lost her life. Madam, we don't know. The police
No, one at a time. Let the Congress spokesperson respond. How do you justify, ma'am, 105 culpable homicide not amounting to murder and 118 voluntarily causing hurt? How did he voluntarily cause hurt? You're saying he intentionally went and found this woman and asked the crowd to run over her?
Let me just come back to what she was saying. If we are saying that he already knew about the FIR, why are we assuming he didn't know about it? Why do we think the police didn't follow procedure? Because he was already going to High Court. Now, what we are saying is that let the law take its own course. The matter has been filed. We are not saying that he's guilty.
Ma'am, you cannot summarily land up at a person's house without a warrant, arrest that person, take him to court, send him to the central jail, and then say law will take its own course. It makes no sense. That's not the law taking its own course.
We would not take it so well. There's a woman who's died and her son is critically unwell.
Do you know what her husband said, ma'am? Ma'am, do you know what the husband of the victim said? I'm asking you, ma'am. Do you know what the husband of the victim has said?
The husband of the victim has also. That's what I'm saying. So let's see what let the law take its own course. But the law is saying.
Krishank Mane, it does not matter what the victim's husband, who is the complainant, says. It does not matter. It does not matter that Allu Arjun has nothing to do with this theatre. It does not matter that Allu Arjun has nothing to do with this fan. Yet, he is charged of culpable homicide. He is charged of voluntarily causing hurt. Police arrive at his bedroom, do not allow him to change his clothes, take him to court, 14 days JC. Then he has to approach the High Court and the High Court gives him bail, and yet the law is taking its own course.
Yes, the law is taking its own course.
Krishank Mane to respond.
Mistake, we wouldn't have been fine.
Can I?
Yes, Krishank. Yes, Krishank.
No, the Congress so adamantly going against Allu Arjun itself shows that they have an intention to send him to jail. I think they should at least let others to speak up too. My point is, see, on 2nd December, the organizers have written to the Assistant Commissioner of Police with the number of shows, particularly, and the members of the film movie, the cinema, be it the hero or the heroine or the other technicians who are participating there, they asked for a bandobast. Isn't it a security lapse and a failure of the government of not providing the proper bandobast? Or, number one, just like the court asked, if you have rejected a permission, show the document. They failed to prove that because they were not prepared for it. The government wants to put the blame on Allu Arjun and the film unit, number two. And Zaka, on 5th itself, the FIR was done and Allu Arjun was named in the FIR. Everyone knows about it that on the 5th, FIR was done and Allu Arjun's name was there in it. Whole country discussed about it. They were already in the news also. But on 13th, on a Friday, because everyone knows that Saturday and Sunday you cannot go for a legal measure. Why am I saying this? Is in Telangana, Honorable High Court particularly has said during the bulldozer Hydra demolitions, why are you choosing weekends for this? So that people do not have constitutional legal remedies or measures? Allu Arjun is also a normal citizen. We are not talking about any celebrity. Be it social media activists, be it demolitions of houses, and now even in this same case, you have chosen a weekend because he cannot go to the court. Why such an approach? Why such a vendetta on him? And the question here we'd like to think is, one thing, please let me complete. Yesterday a farmer was handcuffed. He was complaining of chest pain. He should have his constitutional remedies. Same Allu Arjun should also have his constitutional legal measures. Rule of law has to be one. But why such a grudge? Just because on the success meet of Pushpa, while Allu Arjun was acknowledging everyone, including the Chief Minister of Telangana, he forgot Chief Minister's name. That video became viral. And Revant Reddy, who is known to be an egoist person, has just responded with this grudge.
Please respond, Navika ji, to what Krishank has just said. He's saying that this is not just by the police, this is an act of vendetta by the Chief Minister himself.
First of all, he's already got interim bail. So this weekend thing is not true at all. Second, you have to get permission. You can't say we applied for permission and hence we did it. I don't apply for a job and get it. I have to be confirmed and told you have got the job. And the law is
have you rejected it? Small question. Have you rejected it? Please show us the document.
Permission. Without permission.
Have you rejected the permission? Have you rejected their permission?
have you got the permission? It is not accepted until you have the permission. I can apply for a lot of things.
No, but answer the question that he said, ma'am. He said he's making a direct charge that this is not just the police, this is not just some rogue police officer. He's making a direct charge that the chief minister is carrying out this vendetta. Please respond to that.
I said this earlier also, that the chief minister himself has said, let the law take its own course. And Allu Arjun is the brand ambassador for one of our larger programs, one of the largest anti-drug programs. I mean, I'm quite surprised that we forget this. Why would we be against
correct me if I'm wrong, but the chief minister is also the de facto home minister of the state. The Telangana police reports to him. So either he is unaware that the police have gone ahead and done this, or Krishank is right. This has been born out of vendetta.
Or this is the process of the law, and the law has to take its own course. Why don't we trust institutions in this country
How is the
anymore?
process of the law booking a person who has nothing to do with organizing this event? He is not the owner of the premises where this event happened. The event organizers have asked for permission. Well, they have not got the permission. Maybe they should not have gone ahead with the event. How is that his fault? He was invited for something, he went for it. It was not his job to manage the crowd or to control the crowd. How is this law taking its own course? And why, after the FIR was filed on the 5th, you had to wait till the 13th to arrest him on Friday?
See, the permissions were not given. He should have checked on that.
How is that his fault?
Would you go for an event where you're the chief guest and then you don't even know whether it's legal or not?
But
will I go for
one second, one second. One second, ma'am. The showing of the film, the number of shows were all legal. It's not like pirated copies were being shown there. What is under contention is whether there were adequate security arrangements. Now, making those security arrangements in place is not Allu Arjun's responsibility.
Of course it is.
How is it?
Should have made sure. His staff should have made sure.
What sort of bizarre logic is this? It's like saying I invite you. No, one second, ma'am. One second. I invite you to CNN News 18 office. Inside the CNN News 18 office, because of our building irregularities or whatever, you meet with an accident. Is it not my responsibility? I have invited you. The premises is something that I have to look after. How is it your responsibility if I call you, I invite you, and then you have to manage the crowd? Come on, what sort of logic is this?
No, if you invite me to a CNN News 18 program and don't tell me that you don't have permission for it, and I turn up and I'm arrested because this was not a
again, you are making the wrong comparison. They definitely had permission for the shows, for all the 4 shows. What they did not, well, like I said, which is under contention, is whether security was provided. They have asked for security, maybe for whatever reason the Telangana police could not provide security. That does not mean that they could not show those shows. So let's be very clear about that. But anyway, that is an incidental matter. Let me ask Kasturi Shankar final word. I have to wrap up after this very quickly. Is this a case of vendetta? For whatever reason.
No, I don't think
let Kasturi respond.
I think people are trying to make a
Zaka,
point.
I need 10 seconds too, because I just heard Revant Reddy's reactions on this just now.
Madam Harsh's claim that people have to find out if they have permission. Madam, at least as far as I know, as somebody who has been in law school for 4 long years, the Constitution of India grants every private citizen of this country the right to congregate and the right to go wherever they go without any process. Just because he's a celebrity, are you going to treat him like a fugitive from justice or a terrorist that he has to go tell people, he has to get police permission before he goes watches his own movie?
Krishank, final word, 10 seconds. And like I said, if he doesn't own the theatre, then what is his responsibility? Anyway, quickly, 10 seconds.
Zaka, in another English channel, I've just heard Revant Reddy speaking, giving an interview. He said that Allu Arjun is not someone who's fighting on an India-Pakistan border. He is an actor. He is making movies. He is making money. This is his statement. Was it necessary? I mean, as a chief minister, you want to take on that itself shows that there is some personal grudge or ego behind this.
Okay.
That is
We'll
what
leave it
he
at that.
exactly said just
I'm
now
completely
live.
out of time. Thank you very much to all our guests. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, the big international story of the week. After the downfall of the Bashar al-Assad government in Syria, thousands of people deemed to be enemies of the state were held and tortured in prisons. They were released. CNN's Clarissa Ward visited one such facility and witnessed a prisoner being freed live on camera. That's coming up on the other side.
Srinivas Reddy, the state government in court, the public prosecutor went on to say that he is not a VIP, he is also an accused, that he was mainly responsible for what transpired. But that seems to have not cut any ice, because the High Court went on to say that even if that may be true, he has right to life. And in this case, the cops have not gone on to make a case for non-bailable sections like Section 105 to be actually invoked against him.
Yeah, good evening. Poonam.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. In this case, actually, what is the information that we have is that the police have. It's been stated that the police have been given a representation that Allu Arjun would be coming to the theatre to visit for a benefit show. Allu Arjun along with some other actors. But here the case is that though the representation or the information was given to the police, anywhere, any information or representation, if it is given to the police, then there has to be a consent from the police department before they starting the show. Without the consent from the police department, let us consider the fact, okay, let us assume that the letter has been given. But there also has to be a consent from the police department in writing, stating that so and so person can visit and that such and such bandobast will be provided. Here is a case where they say that the representation has been given, and just because the representation is given, that does not mean that they have got the right to just come and come into the theatre. Being a celebrity here, it is, you understand that number of fans are, it's going to create a nuisance. And without proper bandobast and without proper arrangements, going there will definitely be detrimental in the interests of the state as well as the theatre administration and all. Here, what has happened is that life has been lost, and it is a clear-cut law and order situation. Though the representation has been given, the consent from the police department has not come for them.
So are you saying that consent was not given in the sense that there was no response at all from the police, or that the police denied that consent, that you cannot hold this event?
If you have given a representation, it doesn't mean that you get an automatic consent.
Sure.
Only if you have the consent from the...
Sure. So I'm trying to ask Mr. Reddy is that did the police deny? Sure. But what I'm trying to ask is that did the police deny them permission and yet they went ahead with it, or did the police simply not respond to their request and then the theatre assumed it was okay and went ahead with it? Is that what you're saying?
Here is a case where they say that the the letter has been given to the ACP. But if it is being given to the ACP, it will be there in the GD, and if something of that sort, if it is a fault of the police department, definitely an inquiry will be held towards that effect, and sufficient action in that angle will be taken. But this letter has been brought forward a day after the incident.
But it's dated a day before.
They are saying that the letter has been given 48 hours or 24 hours before.
Yes,
but
or
here,
48 hours ago. The letter is dated 2nd of December. The stampede took place on the 4th.
Yes. Yes, but this letter was not immediately even placed. It was placed a day after the event took place, before the media.
Sure, the media doesn't have to know if the letter was given or no. As far as the letter is given to the police and the police have acted on it, that's what's required. But let me get in Mr. Srivastav as well. Legally speaking, does the police have a strong case with how they went about this entire thing, because that's what Allu Arjun's legal team has also been saying, that he was picked up without any notice. There was no procedure that was followed before he was arrested. Secondly, many believe that the sections that have been invoked against him are extremely excessive.
Absolutely. See, it is complete, I would say, complete abuse of process by the police officials, complete misuse of their powers. First of all, I don't understand as to how sections 105 and 1181 of BNS has been implicated. See, those sections, for instance, section 105 is culpable homicide not amounting to murder. See, these sections can only be inserted when there is a clear intent, where a person can be, can be caused to death. But here, where is the intention? See, maximum
Deep in the belly of the regime's Air Force Intelligence Headquarters,
these are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012. It's one of many secret prisons across the city. This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned out.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door. We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone. Hello?
Okay, it's just
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. My. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light. Stay with me.
Green Lamb Laminates presents CNN News 18 Primetime Studio.
We're live from the CNN News 18 Primetime Studio presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Viewers, what a day it's been. Action-packed, so